So welcome back, everybody. I've been away for a while, but hopefully I haven't been forgotten. I last Thursday I rushed home to trade. I was out all day. Had a guest here in town, and so I finally got home. And by the time I got here, it was right at 6 o'clock, and I didn't want to fire it up and just rush into trading because I think my mind has to be right to do it. So I didn't. I just didn't, and I think that is important for all of us. Maybe to make sure that we have the proper mindset before we get into trading. So I didn't trade on Thursday. Then, of course, Friday and Saturday markets closed. But then Sunday, Sunday was brutal. If you guys don't know, I'm in the Dominican Republic, and the power went out down here at about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And I had already been working on some stuff, and the power went out and it got me shut down. And the power didn't come back on until around 8:30 p.m. and I was just frustrated. So of course I'm not going to even attempt to. So yeah, that was Sunday. But then Monday rolled around, and Monday I was out again. I was out, and I said, you know what, I'm just going to stay out, and I'm not going to worry about trading. But I did trade Monday in Playback, and so I want to share that with you. Let you see how things went for me. As you can see, this is Thursday, okay, and as you can see here, also I'm in Playback, just so you know. So, and if you don't know how I do this, from the home screen, you go to Tools, go down to I forget what it is, import historical data, select your market, and then select the date you want to do it. But I did a whole video on how to do that anyway, so it tells you how to do that. So if you want to go back and play back a day that you missed, or for whatever reason, you can do that. You can download multiple days. You can download 100 days and just practice those 100 days out until you get proficient. But anyway, Monday, April 3rd, we start, the market opens and it, pulls up a little bit, but then it pulls back, and then we get our entry right here. All right. And it's not much of a run up, but I entered it anyway. And it popped up here, and I thought, well, if it comes back up here again, I'm just going to get out, because I didn't really like how all of this shaped out. But it popped up, and it got all the way up here, and I had forgotten to pull down my take profit, because I would have pulled it down to a little bit higher space. So I just had to click on the close button. And for those of you who don't know, well, if you do know, if you've been trading on NinjaTrader, you know that on the right side, and I can't share this on my screen because you would see my account number, and I know you don't want to see that. But there's a blue button that says close, and you can just hit close or click on close, and it will get you out of the trade at wherever you click it. So I clicked it, and it got me out way down here. So it wasn't much of a win, but it beats the heck out of a loss, because the next trade was a loss. And this was not a good entry either. I didn't like this doji and no decision candle before the reversal, but I took it anyway, and lo and behold, it lost. But I want you to notice something down here in the RSI. Okay, down here first. Okay, it was above the RSI. You're supposed to trade and go long. If the RSI is above the 50-yard line, I'm sorry. If we're above the 50-yard line, then we trade to go long, and this was a long trade. Could have gotten a little bit more out of it. I didn't. Here we were right on the 50-yard line, sort of an indecision position, kind of like these candles right here, right? And lo and behold, it doesn't come down enough to give me 25 ticks. It pulls back, it turns around, and goes right back up. Now, this is actually a trade entry for some people who trade the RSI. You get that rounded movement there, and you take it when it closes above the EMA. You trade that up, but that's not what we're doing here. Anyway, we continue with the night. A little bit of a couple of dojis, but then we got pretty good volume here. And I said, what the heck? I'm going to take this. Why? Because we are above the 50-yard line. Okay. And this bluish color line that I have here is at the number 50 on the RSI. Right. And so if the RSI is above this, then supposedly we're supposed to be able to take the trade up. Now here it was, we could take this one up, we just couldn't get 25 ticks. Here it was on the 50-yard line, which meant really I should not have been trading, but we're learning. Anyway, this one is above the 50-yard line, and we take it, boom, there we are. Nice little win. And again, a run, 1, 2, 3, reverse and continue. Take it right here. Go up for 50 ticks. Voila. Pretty good move. And again, it is above the 50-yard line. Although it is right at, when I enter, it is right at the, really close to, well, actually, it's right on the RSI. But it's a one and done, and I just have a hard time staying off those. So got to be careful about that. But anyway, that was a win. Coming on along, the night goes on. We got 1, 2, 3, actually the day, because I'm doing this on like Tuesday morning. A one and done, single reversal, single continuation that exceeds the reversal. That's one and done. Take it and go. 25 ticks, and we are right here at the 50-yard line. So we have a 50-yard line trade that worked and a 50-yard line trade that didn't work. Which is better, that I take these or that I not? Arithmetically, it is better that I not take these, because a loss hurts more than a win helps. So I didn't really need this or this. Had I stayed away from these two, I would have just had these two and a little partial over here. So, so I need to watch these. I'll probably continue to trade them, maybe. But I think the reason this one worked right here is because of the way our MACD looks. You see the MACD was wide open, okay, and it was headed down. It already crossed for an entry way back here. If you're trading the MACD, that entry would have been, yeah, right in here somewhere. Okay, if you're trading the MACD, because it, you know, you're trading down. So actually, you would not have. This wasn't. You would have entered the MACD trade here. Okay, because you got to be below the EMA. So not far from where we were. But here's the thing. It's already open, which means it's going to take a while for it to close. It's not going to just close up. I mean, it can, but it doesn't typically flatten out until it gets to the zero line. So that's one that we can feel pretty good about. A one and done. MACD's open. We're still on the 50-yard line, but over here, MACD's not so open. So that's just one we got to play on. Think about. Moving right along. 1, 2, 3. Reverse and continue. Right. And traded up for 25 ticks. I didn't take these because I was in playback, and I was like, you know what, it didn't really matter. I'll just mark these up. But yeah, there you go. Boom. Again, run down, pull back, go, bang. And here's the thing. We are slightly above the zero on the 50-yard line, but we're on the 50-yard line here. And so that's kind of that's a toughie, okay? As to whether or not you'll take those going forward. Here we're pulling down, reverse and continuation. We are definitely below the 50-yard line. MACD's open, so it's going to take a while for it to continue and then turn around for us. So that was Monday night. So if you traded Monday night, you should have been positive. Okay, maybe you took this, but that was the only one that would have well, this one, because if you didn't get out early, then it came back here for a loss, and you would not have probably gotten in here. But so you probably would have had a loss if you didn't think to get out here, or you know, whatever, whichever one of those. But all these others worked out just fine. And what is wild is that for the past probably 2 weeks, the market has been so stingy, right? But all of a sudden, I take a day off. I don't know how Thursday went. I didn't even go back and look at Thursday. But I take a day off and look at this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wins. And all I've been able to get is one, because the market has been stingy. And how stingy has the market been? Well, here's the 14th. I traded last night. And I didn't record because my software was screwed up. When I did a software upgrade too on I guess it was Sunday when the power went out and everything was just screwed up. So I didn't have my software OBS straightened out by then, so I couldn't record this. But here's a trade that I took. Okay, now I took this based on the MACD crossing, and I had to pull my stop loss back. So let's take this a little bit at a time, right? So we have I have a what's it called? We have candles going down here, going down right here, and it closes below the EMA. At the same time, we have a cross, right? The yellow line crossing the blue line. The yellow line is the MACD. The blue line is the signal line. And what happens is, well, when that happens, these two simultaneously, that means you can enter the trade to short the market, because we are above the zero line and we're crossing the the MACD and signal line are crossing to go down. So you can take it as long as you are below the EMA. Now, some people use the SMA, EMA, SMA. You try them both. Okay. Now, when you're trading the MACD, and when I'm trading the MACD, I'm telling myself, well, I need a bigger stop loss because it swings back a lot, right? So right here, I have these teal colored lines here, right? And I brought my stop loss all the way back here because they're saying, I've heard anyway, that you're supposed to bring your stop loss back to the last highest point. So I just got just above this wick here and I set it here. Had I not done that, this is the original stop loss of 25 ticks. And lo and behold, boom, that's all. It would have gone back just enough to knock that out and then go on down here for a win. See that? And what I tried to do, I figured, well, since I've got such a great stop loss, I need to try to get more out of this trade. You know what I mean? I mean, because if you're going to risk more, you should get more. Well, in this case, that, you know, at this point, I'm thinking that's not working, because what I do is I pull my take profit down. And when I get down below 25 ticks, I pull my stop loss down. So now my stop loss is protecting at 25. Actually, I pulled down to about 26, 27 right here. So the market came back and took me out. So at least I got the win, but that's why I don't really like that, because sometimes it just goes up and keeps going. In this case, it rolled over and came on down. And I could have gotten a little bit more. I don't know if I could have gotten 50 ticks. Probably could have, right down in here somewhere. But yeah. So MACDs, I don't know. But you know, they could work out. In this case, down here, it does. However, I was looking at something else, because I'm thinking, okay, we're moving down here, but after a while, I'm kind of giving up on what's happening here. Why? Because we're all this time. And look, we've got 25 ticks from here to about here. And so all of this time, we've not accumulated 25 ticks. I'm not feeling like this run and then reversal is going to give me 25 ticks, right? And it doesn't. You know, if you enter anywhere in here, it's going to turn around and go back. But because I was looking at that, and I actually would have entered on the 7th candle, that's why I have 7 there. Had I not been looking at that, I would have been down here looking at the MACD crossing again, all right? So there it is crossing. Here's the 0 line down here. Okay. That's the 0 line, MACD crossing just below it. All right. Crossing to go up. And the price action closes here on this big white candle above the EMA. If you entered here, you got yourself a win. Pretty good one. And if not 25 ticks by here, you're just waiting around for it to continue on up. And while you would have been waiting, I would not have gotten an entry, because there was not another entry that I felt good about, and for good reason. We had a little bit of a run here, a reversal and a continuation, but that I just didn't like it. I just didn't like it. And as it turns out, this is, you know, had you entered here, I don't think this is 25 ticks. I didn't think to go back and put one of these little bluish color right angles in there, but I don't think that turned out to be 25 ticks. Then we had a run here and a reversal and a continuation here, right? And it would have failed. I didn't take it because you see that red line I put in there, right? Because prior to this, it tapped out here, go all the way back, it tapped out here, and it tapped out here at the opening. Remember, sometimes the market comes in, it sets an opening or it sets a high and it sets there. And then there's another one that's 2 times. And then there's 3 times, and then 4 times. And so I'm not expecting the 5th time to give me a win. And it would not have. This would have been like a loss by about 2 or 3 ticks right here had I entered right here. So I didn't do it. And so the night was pretty much over. I wasn't going to take this one because we're getting pretty close to the end of the night, and we are pretty close, you know, right there at the ceiling. So I'm not taking it, although it was a 1-in-1 and it was tempting. I just didn't do it. But that was last night. So now all we need to do is get going tonight. So what do we got? What do we have going on tonight? Let's see here. There, market's open and we can get going by time. Okay, so I'm having to cut this up a little bit, guys, because I was the screen was recording. I thought I hit mute or stall or pause or whatever. So you had all that background noise. So I'm just having to cut this up from the opening where I just shared with you the last couple of days that I, went and back traded to now. But nothing's happened because the market is trending up. And there is a way to trade this, but it's not something that I have practiced. And that is, in the direction of the market is how you want to go. You want to, trade the trend, right? And so when the price action bounces off of the EMA, and just so you know, if I have my EMA set at a period of 9. You can change that and it'll change the way that looks, but I understand 9 is where it's supposed to be. But whenever it bounces off, so it comes up, it bounces. After a while, you go, wait a minute, that's all it's going to do, right? And so at some point, you enter a trade when it comes up and it crosses the EMA. The yellow line is the EMA. When the white candle goes up, or yours should be green in this case, or in another case if you haven't changed the colors of your candles. But you would then just enter a trade here. I mean, so if you were doing that, and if ever you decide to go back and try this, but you want to make sure that you have a good trend, okay? And how you tell that, I'm not sure. But anyway, I mean, if you enter here on that candle, don't think I would have entered here because it's so long, it's definitely going to go backward, right? So I would want to take a short candle as close to the EMA as I can, right? So if it pulls back a little bit, it would give me plenty of room, to be wrong, right? At least a little bit wrong. So the win would have occurred here. And if you get one there, don't know if you get in on one of these long candles, you choose a short one again that's close to the EMA, and then you trade it up again like that, and the win would have come up here. But since that's not something that I have traded, it is not something that I'm going to go out here and do with real money because I don't play with money. I try to work with it. But right now, as far as the MACD is concerned, not very much happening. It just finally opened up to turn upward. And the market is just taking off. Now, that's a good thing because some of us own, other assets, and we like to see the market go up. So we're making money over there. So if you own, and this is the NASDAQ. So if you own, tech stocks, then you're having a good night. Okay. But me, I'm having a hard time finding an entry. I thought about doing it here, right? And then it did it again 2 times and go. But that's not my trade, and so I'm not going. I don't believe in guesswork. I mean, if I'm in demo, if you're practicing and you're coming along, and you're seeing a pattern or something that you want to try, there's nothing wrong with that because you're not trading with real money. It's paper money or you're paper trading, as they say, or demoing or dummy trade, whatever you want to call it, sim trading. That's fine, okay. But then at some point decide, on what it is you're going to be trading, what process you're going to be using, and then figure that out and stick to that until you really do. Because you don't want to move to trading live with real money while experimenting with a lot of different methodologies. Get it figured out, take the time, and then you can be successful. But anyway, that's all I want to say right here. I'm just going to hold on. We don't have an entry right now. Even if I got a one and done, I'm not sure if I would take that right now because we're sitting right here at the top of the RSI at resistance. So I'm just going to have to chill for a while, and hopefully it won't be another one of those nights where I only get one trade. So I don't know if I'm going to get an opportunity to get an entry here. Actually, what is showing is something I wouldn't take. I've talked to you guys about divergence in the past, the RSI and price action, and as well and those coupled with the Bollinger Band. You see here, you have a high here and a higher high there, right? So I'm going to take this, right? And so you can see that you're going up, right? But then if you look down here at your RSI, you see that you're going down here, which means that your sellers your buyers are being overtaken by your sellers. And so you're sort of trading off. And when that happens, it kind of tells you that, you're probably going to sell off, at some point. I say probably because, there's no guarantees at anything. You just make the best decision you can with the information you have. And so when that happens, what we like to do is include the Bollinger Band, and I'll do that here. I got a few seconds to do that. Let's see, where is it? Click that twice, hit OK. Now, The Bollinger Band, when we like to have redlining here, down here on the RSI, but we didn't quite get redlining, right? When it redlines and we are hitting extremes on the Bollinger Bands here on the upper side, same if we were down and trying to go up, then, but if we're up and trying to go down, when it crosses, we'll use the SMA right now because we don't have very much speed here. You see, we don't have very much velocity here. But whenever that crosses, after you get the diversions, you confirm diversions, a higher high and a lower high, okay? Lower high on the RSI, price action comes down, closes below the SMA, then that's a trade that you can probably consider taking down. And as you can see, your RSI is getting weaker and weaker, or it's tending to trail off, right? And so the theory is that at some point it's going to close below the SMA. It's already closed slightly below the EMA. The EMA is right about here. You can barely see it because it's pretty much the same color. Well, that yellow doesn't show up very well on either the blue or the white candle. But if that closes down below that, then that gives you an opportunity to hopefully take a trade down, because all we've gotten is nothing all the way up here. Not a single. I mean, you get a 2-1, 2-1, and I guess you can take it, you know. But if you're taking it here, why didn't you take it out in every other night that you're trading? You know, are you just going to make? I mean, I'm not going to just make arbitrary decisions like that based on how I feel. It's got to be something more than a feeling. But yeah, and so it looks like it's wanting to fight back against closing below the moving average. You got 47 seconds here. Maybe it'll do it here. I like for it to just come right on down and get, you know, and dip below it. I don't like all of this mealy-mouthy kind of price action here. Looks like it wants to curl back up. So I'm not liking it right now for a couple of reasons. One is, again, that it's not a definitive move downward, and we didn't quite redline. You know, this red line here is sitting on 75 over here, and down here at the bottom is sitting at 25 if we're down here going the other way. But we're not getting definitive movement in that direction. So it's feeling like it just wants to come down, bounce off, and go on up again. And then this might be an opportunity for you to take the trade right here and trade it up. Again, unless you've done that a considerable number of times, and you are comfortable with taking that trade, and that this time won't be the last time that it bounces off the EMA, then don't take the trade. Practice, whatever it is you're going to do. Now, looks like we're breaking. We broke our trend. What, on the RSI anyway? It's actually right about there. Nope, we didn't break it. We're still below it. I'm just looking at these lower highs on the RSI, but up here we're really falling off now. So in this case, I would not take this trade when it closes here. I would wait for another run reversal continuation, because we just don't have the price action we need here. We've gone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and we're working on the 11th candle. And if I put that there, we didn't even go 12 ticks. I mean, we've not gone anywhere. So again, we don't have any velocity. We have no momentum, and so it's not very much you can do, unless, again, like I say, you can buy that. Where would you be right now if you had done that? You'd be in about right there. Your entry would be about right here, and yeah, maybe it goes down, or maybe it goes. I'm sorry, you'll be trading up at that point. But again, I'm not doing that because we're showing weakening down here to RSI. We're getting weaker and weaker, and here it comes. It looks like it's going to close below. We've got 12 seconds left on that candle. I'm still not taking it because we haven't shown any momentum to come down. Usually what you'll find is when you add the Bollinger Band, and again, if you're looking for the Bollinger Band, it's right here, the third one, Bollinger. You'll use that one, and what you'll look for is when the RSI touches the red line, okay, and simultaneously your price action is pushing outside of the Bollinger Band. When it comes down definitively like it did here, you would take the trade when it closes below the SMA. But again, it didn't redline, so you can't take that trade. But if it redlines and it does that, you can take the trade. Now, that's one trade. But however, sometimes it will pull back up and go back up here and do it again, and you'll see that RSI sort of tail off. So typically, I mean, because when I first started looking at this, that was a trade, and then I looked at it deeper, and then it was like, okay, well then there's this one, and I thought, well, if this is the one, then I'm going to do this one, because you know, if we were redlining down here, and we had you know, a double top up here, and then this came definitively down, I would get in, no problem. I would get in, I would take that trade, because those trades tend to go a little bit long, a little bit more than 25 ticks. So we've closed below the EMA and the SMA over here, so we're down here now. And if you're taking the trade, if I was smart enough to take the trade, I would have taken it here, and I would be taking it here. But there's just not enough momentum. So I got to have speed. You know, I got a need for speed. Was that the line that Tom Cruise used in that one movie, Top Gun? Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I would have entered. You would have entered it here, but I don't have enough momentum for me to be interested in taking that trade. And here's 8 o'clock over here. So you guys had a great night trading last night with all those opportunities, and then I come along and ruin it. Well, that was night before last, because I traded last night. But I come along and I ruin it. I start trading and all the opportunities go away. Let's go ahead and get rid of this Bollinger Band. I'm not trading on that right now. All you got to do is click on it one time. Click down here. I'm sorry. Click on it, choose it down here where it's already configured. Hit remove, apply, and it's gone. So yeah, I've got to have momentum here. But yeah, I come back and I ruin everything for everybody. I killed the whole market. So sorry guys, I didn't mean to. But yeah, you had a good night. I don't know how Sunday night went. Monday, well, one of those nights. I don't know how Thursday night. I don't know how Thursday night went. But anyway, yeah, you guys had a good night before last. I jumped back in the market, slow everything down. I guess there are people out there who are watching to see when I'm trading, and they want to slow things down because they know I'm sharing this with you. Okay, so they probably figured, you know, you guys, you know, I wouldn't be sharing this last night, but whatever. Anyway, here we go again. Okay, this is no momentum. This is nothing. This is not a run. Okay, this is nothing here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 candles. It's already exceeded the run. Okay, we got 1, 2, 3, 4 candles, but nothing here. And so the market looks like it wants to continue. Okay, we'll see. I'm going to move this trend line down on the RSI and see where this happens up here, because this is like that. Same trajectory. It came up here and tapped it. Who would have thought that, right? Same trajectory. It came right back up here and tapped it. Huh. And we'll see where this RSI ends in about 12 seconds to see how close it comes to this trend line we have here. In 4, 3, 2, and 1. There we go. It crossed it. It broke it, right? Just interesting, but still not a trade opportunity for me. I'll go back to this just to see, because it might have gone up there and did it again. Yeah, it's exceeded it. So it has exceeded the Bollinger Band, because it came down here and yeah, it pretty much crossed it. But I'm not looking at that anymore. Just wanted to share that with you guys. It didn't work out. It just took too long to materialize, and when that happens, it's just not something that if your trade's taking forever to set up, then it's probably not a trade, especially if you're trading momentum. Okay, and if you were trading the MACD crossed way back here, down here, and it lost. Okay, it pulled back up here and crossed again right here, and you would have entered somewhere in here, and now you're negative. And so it's just one of those nights. The only way you're somebody's making money because they knew to go long right down here, and they rode it all the way up, right? But I didn't know to go long way down here. As a matter of fact, I was misrecording back here and running my big mouth. So yeah. Here again, 2, 1, and then go. We can't get a run. Just can't get it. So we'll play out the string for the rest of the night and see where we are. Okay, so I did it. All right, so it bounced off of the EMA, and I did it at the last minute. I clicked the buy. I didn't set. I wanted to be closer to the EMA. You see how far my entry is from the EMA, because I'm looking back, and even on some of these long candles, it didn't come back far enough to lose. This would be a loser if I jumped in here. I want to be close to the EMA like here, so I'm pretty far from what might be a loss. Let's just hope that this isn't the last time that it will bounce off of the EMA and then go up 25 ticks. But whenever it does go up, as you know, I mean, outside of this one, you know, it went up pretty quick. But over here, if I gotten in here, that's a long wait because the wind doesn't come until over here somewhere. Or if you get in here, let's see, you probably won where? No, you still haven't won yet. You'd be in the soup of it, or just in the thick of it. And so I figured, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and give this a shot. What the heck, it's one night, and there we go. Now it's coming down. So hey, maybe I'm going to make it better for everybody else. Okay, so if it turns around and we get a run reversal and continuation, then you know what, I'm going to take that too. So let's just kick back, relax, and see where this thing takes us. If it's going to take as long as it has taken in the past for it to run up 25 ticks, that's going to be, I'm not going to talk that whole time. Be my luck that this would be the time that it runs right down in just a couple of minutes and knock out 25 ticks, or knock out a 25 tick loss. But let's see where it goes. So I may be taking an entry here. I just showed you that last one. Well, I did make that entry back here. It didn't work out. Like I said, the one time that I enter, it'll reverse and go all the way down, and then I would lose. And obviously I did. So we have a run, a reversal here, maybe a continuation, but this right here is not anything anybody should be doing. It had been climbing all of that time, and the one time that I get in to say, well, it's going to bounce off the EMA, it doesn't, right? So yeah, that's just the way it goes. But anyway, what do we have here? We got two reversals, two candle reversal, and we got one continuation that didn't quite make it. We got about 30 seconds left on this one, and then once it completes, if it's above that green line, I'm going to go ahead and get in. Only thing is, now I'm already in the hole, and so this wind would not make me positive for the evening. So not digging that, but when you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. Played a stupid game, and that was just after I said I don't play with money, but I played with it right there, and that's exactly why you don't. We got 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2, 1, and it did not close above the green line, so I can't get in there. It got right up to it, and this one will probably just jet right up there. We've seen that happen before in the past too, right? So let's just see where it goes. Really having a hard time getting past that price point for the evening, isn't it? You know, it's come up here before and pushed back, and it's pushing back again and again up here. 16, 15. Let's see what happens. I mean, it's stubborn right there. Look at that. I'm going to go ahead and, oh, look at it, pop me up way up there. Isn't that something? That's not fair. Just not fair. But that's the way it goes when you're trading. If I lose this one, I'm not going to worry about it. It's the first one that I lost because I'm still, you know, smarting over because I shouldn't have done it, but I did. This one over here. Because it had run up so much, and never really pulled back, right? A little bit here, a little bit there. But the instant I get in, it just died right off. You see that? Anyway, let's see what happens here. It really hasn't been a good night for the continuation trade at all. Looks like the market's just stalling out. You see how it just sat there for like 3-4 seconds? It didn't move. The market's just petering out. Yeah, we might not be going anyway on this one. And what's interesting is that it was way down here when I clicked that. Well, it doesn't matter. I'm losing it anyway at this point, unless it turns around pretty quickly. But it seems to be doing the same thing it did last time I entered. Turned right around and went the other way. Feeling a little bit better now, but it keeps getting right up there and hitting that wall. You see all those wicks? Okay, broke through. Didn't break through quite enough, but it broke through. There we go. Okay. I was actually thinking about moving my take profit so that I can get a little bit more back, but well, I didn't do it fast enough, so there we go. So that's the end of that. That's probably the end of my trading tonight, because I don't have enough time to get another one in. Now, unless you go, you go into the 8 to 10 o'clock period, that probably might not be a bad idea, because when I looked at the 8 to 10 o'clock period for the last couple of nights, it was actually better. There were more opportunities than the 6 to 8. So what does this tell me? What does this tell everybody? What does this tell us, class? This tells us that patience, patience is a valor worth having, because I wasn't patient here. I said, well, it's been doing this all night. Let me go ahead and do it. If I was going to do this, I should have jumped in and been bold back here. But it still wasn't the trade, right? So when I waited and I did it, it just taught me a lesson, right? It just said, listen, you bonehead, this is not what you're supposed to be doing. So we're going to knock you out of this trade or knock you off the board. And it did just that. I got in here. It stepped up and said, no, dummy, Steve's in the trade. Go back the other way. And that's exactly what it did. And then we got our run, reversal, continuation, and everything lined up. Let me just, I'm going to mark this up for you so you know why I say everything lined up. So we entered here, right? And we are above the, I'll just make this line right here. We are right there. So we are above the 50-yard line when we enter, right? This blue line down here, that's the 50-yard line, right? We trade up when we are above the 50-yard line, okay? And this is for momentum trades only, okay? If you're doing something else, that 50-yard line may or may not apply. This is for momentum trades. And see, if I had gone ahead and moved my thing up, I could have gotten a little bit more and made up for that. Anywho, so yeah, and our MACD is somewhat open at the time. I was a little bit concerned because it was flattening out, but we are above the 50-yard line when we do take the entry. Let's see, what is that? That's TikTok. I got a TikTok. I just set up a TikTok account, all right, for my other like screen name or whatever, the what do I call it? The Good Life with Steve. I said I better do that on TikTok before somebody steals it. But everything I get is in Spanish, so because it looks at the IP address, so I can't really use it. Anywho, so we are above the 50-yard line here. We got a run, reversal, continuation, enter and go. Continuation. Well, actually, when I clicked on one, my counter down here said 1. And I clicked on it, and then it popped down and went just below it, and it would have been below the actual blue candle here. So the actual entry is way the heck up here, and don't think I want to be, well, even if you took that, run, reversal, final continuation, but how many candles is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Don't want that. So Well, glad I did what I did when I when I did it. But yeah, so there's the one win for the night. So I'm gonna go ahead and mark this up. Let's see, is there anything else I need to share with you guys before I shut this down? I don't think so. But yeah, so this right now we're running at 25 minutes. I think I got about 10 minutes on that that is at the beginning of this thing. So I've had to splice the where I'm sharing with you the previous nights that I didn't, when I did trade them. I trade one in playback. I traded the other one, but I didn't record it. But I just gave you the screenshot and showed you what happened. But yeah, I'm sorry I came back to the market tonight, guys. It looks like I came back and ruined everything for everybody. But we won't let that happen again. So until next time, guys, thanks for joining me. Oh, and before I go, guys, if you're not doing it already, you should be doing this. You should catalog your trades. So you should be doing it on a spreadsheet, also, so that you can see each individual trade, what you made, and your profit and loss. But you should also screenshot and date your trades. Like I just went ahead and put the date on here, so I can go back and someone says, well, what you do on Wednesday, April of the 15th, I can go back and find this image, and I'll know exactly what I did. I did a bonehead move, and then I took the trade that I'm supposed to take. But be doing this because it will make a difference. It'll help you, because when you are learning, there's so much to learn, and you will forget a lot of it, right? If your memory is anything like mine, okay, you can't remember all the trades and everything that you were thinking when you were actually trading. So catalog your trades. Take screenshots if nothing else, and you can just do, date them and create a folder for the month of April, the month of May, the month of June, so that you can go back and see how you did. It's easier, I think, if you do it on a spreadsheet, because you can get it all, you could probably get 2 or 3 months on a single page, or not more, just depending on how you lay it out. But it's so very important that you do that, because until you do that, you won't know that. Where is it? Where's that again? There. Until you do that, you won't know that this trade works, okay? Because you won't be able to go back and see. I've been able to go back and look at, like, I don't know, 6 months worth of data, so I know that this works, right? And so, but I don't know that this works. And like I was telling you, I guess when we were earlier in the video, I shouldn't be doing that because it's not something that I've practiced. So I did it, and it proved to me and you now that I haven't practiced it, right? So yeah, go ahead and do what you need to do to make sure that you're going to be successful. Don't depend on memory. Depend on what you have, in empirical data right in front of you. But yeah, I just wanted to come back and say that because I know a lot of people are wanting to learn to trade. They're, wanting to learn the steps that it takes to be a profitable trader. I'm thankful that even with this goofy loss that I just made tonight, that I'm still profitable for the month of April. So do it. Take the time. Learn it, because these jobs that they're talking about out there, they ain't it no more. Anyway, guys, for this time for real, I'm out.